is we are going to start off with the one and only Pittsburgh Steelers. And guys, tonight we're taking a bold look into the future. We are taking a bold look at this win-loss prediction for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2025 season. And yeah, I know it's still a little bit early in the offseason buildup, but this team has flipped the script in the AFC. Let me run it down for you guys. The Pittsburgh Steelers, guys, could be the most dangerous team in the AFC. 2 months ago, just flashback to May, early June, guys, I had them going 9-8. Good enough to sneak into the playoffs, but they're still pretty average. But that was before all the fireworks took place. Since then, since we broke down the Pittsburgh Steelers 2 months ago, guys, George Pickens has been traded. Get out of town. See you later, like alligator. They brought in DK Metcalf, but most importantly, finally got their guy at quarterback, Aaron freaking Rodgers, baby. He is be wearing the black and gold all season long. And when we talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys, we are going to be talking a lot about their ceiling and, of course, a lot about their floor. But I want to give you guys a little bit of spoiler alert because their ceiling with Aaron Rodgers just went way up in 2025. Earlier, we had about 9 to 10 wins max, guys. Now we're talking 13, 14 win territory if everything clicks in Pittsburgh. But let's not get ahead of ourselves today. Let's slow it down, baby. And I'm giving you the locked-in projections of me, my hour buck, over there on the old Twitter machine, guys. Let's break it down week by week. And where do I officially have the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2025? Now, as you guys know, the NFL season is broken down into 4 quarters. We have the first quarter, we got the second quarter, we got the third quarter, we got the fourth quarter, right? With that being said, weeks 1 through 4 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys, they got a lot of early tests and a lot of momentum shifts. In week 1, we have Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields. Aaron Rodgers playing his old team. Justin Fields playing his old team at MetLife Stadium in New York. But Justin Fields and that defense come out swinging, and Aaron Rodgers struggles in his debut behind a still gelling offensive line. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers lose to the New York Jets opening week 1 at MetLife Stadium. But then week number 2, back in the Steel City, and Aaron Rodgers gets welcomed home with open arms and says, "Lead us to the promised land," as they welcome the Seattle Seahawks into town. And the defense rallies behind Aaron Rodgers, and they rattle Sam Darnold early and often. It's a bounce-back week for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they get the first win of the season over the Seattle Seahawks. And then week number 3, they're back on the road, taking on another AFC East opponent in the New England Patriots, guys. This is going to be a tough road game. And I think the Patriots defense finds a way to confuse Aaron Rodgers just enough and forces some mistakes to give the Pittsburgh Steelers the second loss of the season. Not a good look of what we're looking for, but it's all about momentum because week 4, they do travel overseas to play the Minnesota Vikings in Germany. This is a neutral field, but considered this is a home game technically for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But the Pittsburgh Steelers' experience and physicality travels well over to Berlin. Rodgers puts on a show overseas, and they get a beat-down victory over the Minnesota Vikings. Because let's just be honest, Aaron Rodgers does not lose to the NFC North this season. In week number 5, they're in a good spot for a rest, coming back over from Germany after a 2-2 start, and Aaron Rodgers gets that extra week to finally sync up with DK Metcalf. So, guys, for the first 5 weeks, I have them as a record at 2-2. They got some early bumps, but the talent is showing. Aaron Rodgers is starting to heat up, look like MVP Aaron Rodgers, and that defense is holding strong. This team is starting to find the identity. And then week 6 through 9, this is when they start rolling into form. This is when things start to click and everything's to the moon, baby, because week number 6, they're back at home, taking on the crappy Cleveland Browns. Guys, the Pittsburgh Steelers take care of business at home. Aaron Rodgers dials up a few deep shots, and the defense shuts down Kenny Pickett and the Cleveland Browns. This is an easy win for the Pittsburgh Steelers in week 6. And then week number 7, this is a short week. Back from a bye week, then an emotional win over the Cleveland Browns, and they play a Thursday night game taking on the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. Short work week, hostile road game, and Joe Burrow picks apart the secondary just enough to give them yet another loss. But things start to turn around a little bit. Because week 8, they are back home. We are back home. This is a throwback game. The Green Bay Packers are wearing their throwback jerseys. The Pittsburgh Steelers are wearing their throwback jerseys, and Aaron Rodgers plays his old team, and you know he has his game circled. This is a statement win for Aaron Rodgers in front of a fired up, rowdy Pittsburgh Steelers crowd. This is a huge win over the Green Bay Packers, and he says, "Ha, I told you so." And then week number 9, back at home again. The home stretch will continue for the next few weeks, and they continue strong. The defense rattles Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts, and the running game dominates. This is another win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So through the second part of the season, guys, through week 9, I have them as a 6-3 record. We're talking, right? Things are starting to click. Aaron Rodgers is locked in. DK Metcalf is making defensive pay, and this defense is still elite. The Steelers are starting to emerge as a legit AFC threat. Keep that in mind, a legit AFC threat. But weeks 10 through 14, this is where the gauntlet begins. This is where the not-so-easy games are no longer there, because week 10, they travel to LA to take on the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers get revenge in last year's loss. Tough road environment. This is a loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers when they travel to the West Coast to play LA. Week 11, they're back at home, take on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Steelers do get even. Aaron Rodgers does outduel Joe Burrow and silence the critics, but they do get the win. But it's a battle. It is a battle-tested win. We're talking like a 35-32 type of shootout game. And then week 12, they travel to Chicago. I think Aaron Rodgers still owns Chicago, and the Pittsburgh Steelers get even. This might be a trap game in some people's eyes, maybe, but the Pittsburgh Steelers experience keeping them focused. This is a win for the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Chicago Bears. And then week 13, they're back at home. Back at home, taking on the Buffalo Bills. Put some respect on their name, and this one is a war. This is for top of the AFC, I think. This game will determine who wins the AFC, in my opinion. But Josh Allen outguns Aaron Rodgers in the fourth quarter, giving the Pittsburgh Steelers yet another loss. And then week 14, they travel to Baltimore to take on the Baltimore Ravens, a classic AFC North brawl, and Lamar Jackson makes just enough plays to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, giving them yet another loss on the season. So through 3 quarters of the season, through week 14, the Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting at 8-5. They're still in a strong spot, but the AFC, guys, is going to be crowded. The playoff push is officially on, and every win matters from here. And then week 15 through 18, I'm going to classify this as the push to the finish, right? Because week 15, they do play the Miami Dolphins at home. Cold December game in Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers loves it, and Tua doesn't. Miami Dolphins does it. Tyreek Hill does it. They want to get out. Fix the camera, please. They get the win. Week 16, they do travel to Detroit. But Dan Campbell's squad is a machine. And in that dome, they're nearly unstoppable. Pittsburgh Steelers lose to the Detroit Lions. And then week number 17 at the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns take advantage of the home crowd and split the series. An ugly one here, but they get you a win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then week number 18, they're back at home, taking on the Baltimore Ravens, and everything is on the line. Playoff seeding, pride, momentum, all the good stuff. And Aaron Rodgers steps up in a huge way and gets a final win of the season. So, guys, with the final recap, guys, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers finished the 2025 season 10-7. A solid record, a playoff team. Absolutely. But let's not ignore the upside. With Aaron Rodgers underneath center and DK Metcalf in the mix, this team has the ceiling to get 13 or 14 wins if things go their way, if everything clicks. The floor, however, it's around 9 wins. Still a very, very respectable 9-win season, which they're still sitting 2 months ago. But now there's real hope in Pittsburgh. So the question for you guys down in the comments below: are the Pittsburgh Steelers truly back with Aaron Rodgers at the helm? Or do you still believe they're a tier below the AFC East or the elites? Let me know, guys, down in the comments below. Remember, this is a live interactive show. I do see all your comments. Chuck Wagon, suck a dick, bitch. And then we are live every Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time, as this is a live interactive show. Guys, let's get into it. Alpha Rob is in the chat. Let me fix this camera. Why is it not auto focusing? There we go. There we go. All right. What's up, Alpha Rob? I see you, big guy. And James Frank says, let me be clear about this. Let me be perfectly clear, says James Frank. The Pittsburgh Steelers suck. James, do the Pittsburgh Steelers suck because you are a Browns fan? Or do they legitimately suck because they have Aaron Rodgers at the helm? Or do they suck because of something else? Why do the Pittsburgh Steelers suck? Right? Why do the Pittsburgh Steelers suck? That is the question. Alpha Rob says the Pittsburgh Steelers will go 12-5. Woof, baby. Slow it down, Alpha Rob. Alpha Rob is jumping on that Pittsburgh Steelers bandwagon. So Alpha Rob, let me ask you this. Is it because of the defense? Or is it because of Aaron Rodgers? Why do you pick? Because if you guys remember 2 months ago, I think we all pretty much had them as an 8, 9, potentially 10-win team at the max. Now you're rolling out with 12 wins? Whew, that's tough. That is tough, but I like it. I like it. Casey Morgan says, I feel that Pittsburgh is getting the Jets version of Aaron Rodgers. Listen, I hope you are wrong, Casey, because I have kind of been on this Pittsburgh Steelers bandwagon here for a little while, and I love their defense. I love their running game, and I do like Mike Tomlin, but you might be right. Aaron Rodgers is old. He did try to rush that Achilles injury, come back a little too much, I do believe, but we will see, right? We will see very, very soon. He probably won't play much preseason, if any. So we'll definitely have to wait till September 12th or whatever it is to see. James Frank says Myles Garrett and the rookie Mason Graham eat the old head alive. We will see. This is one game that I am truly looking forward to. As a fan of the NFL, I am looking forward to the Browns versus Steelers this season. I am looking to see if Aaron Rodgers, how he gets acclimated into this rivalry, because we've seen Myles Garrett take Mason Rudolph's helmet elf and smash him in. Is he going to disrespect Aaron Rodgers like that too? I don't know, baby. I'd love to see it though. Alpha Rob says their defense is good. At last, their offense is a little better. Okay. Alpha Rob saying Aaron Rodgers improves that Steelers offense just a tittle bit to get those 2 extra wins. Okay, Chuck Wagon says this is the dumbest sports show ever created by a Queef fan. Chuck is a little bit wagging because you got a big boy in your profile picture. Who puts big boy in the profile picture? Chuck, come on, man, you're better than that. James Frank says, then go watch something else, old Chuck. It's about your opinion. Love it, James. Love it. Chuck says, cannot wait for this turd to do his hate-filled Broncos analyst and continue to think they'll be 4-13. You know what, Chuck? I'm pretty sure I never said the Broncos would be 4-13 ever. Now, the Raiders, 100%. And I was exactly right about the Raiders last season. So don't shoot the messenger, Chuck. But the truth of the matter is I've been right more times than not. But we'll be doing your Denver Broncos, Chuck, tomorrow. We'll be doing the Denver Broncos tomorrow. And he says, yes, I did. Okay, Chuck, if I said the Denver Broncos will be 4-13, bring your receipts. Because I am looking at my past way too early schedule. Let's see here, past too early schedule. The Denver Broncos, I had them at 7-10. 7-10, way too early. But we'll see. We'll see how they do. Doofus said the Colts would beat the Broncos. We'll see. We will see. We'll see. Da-dum. All right, guys. So that is that is it for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is it for your comments. So let's go ahead and move on to the Cleveland